Hello, this is Charlene Mila from the Sewing Palace in Helena, Montana. And today we're going to talk about a new kit and some new fabrics that we have in our store from In the Beginning. It's a great fabric line and it's called A Year of Art. They've come out with these projects that we're able to kit with the beautiful new fabrics, and I think you're really going to enjoy these. There are 4 different kits throughout the next year, one for summer, fall, winter, and then spring of 2023. So I think you'll enjoy the different projects and the beautiful lines of fabric. So let's take a look at the one we're talking about today. The Year of Art Summer. Beautiful purples and mauve colors for this kit, as you can see right here. The kit is all labeled, and inside the kit are all of the fabrics that you'll need to make all 3 projects, okay? And the pattern, again, too, for all 3 projects. So let's take a peek at all these beautiful fabrics. All right, here is the panel. So this includes a panel with 2 beautiful pictures in the panel. This one is the outdoor scene with the field of flowers. The next panel is this gorgeous one I used on my pillow front, and it has all the pretty flowers and the beautiful colors of summer. Then we have our border print, which is in the table runner. This is the border print, and you cut that border print up to make the lengths of fabric that you need for the table runner. And then the kit will also include 6 additional fabrics, 2 beautiful green filigrees, a magenta, a purple fabric, a nice blush or mauve pink, along with this beautiful textured piece called Summer Breeze. So these are all of the fabrics that are going to be inside your kit. So let's talk a little bit about how you make the segments. Okay, so in making our segments, these are going to be, most all of them are 1.5-inch strips. And you're going to cut them with the fabric 1.5 inches on all your colors. And when you do that, you will then sew them all together in strip piecing. So here's one of the strip pieces, the 1.5 inches of each color sewn together in specific order. So in your pattern, you have 4 different segments that you're going to make. So each one of them is a different colorway. So you're putting different colors together in different orders to get all of the different pieces that are going to fit together to make the pattern in the blocks. Okay, now you can kind of see here, once we get all these strip pieces put together, then you're going to begin cutting all of the segments that go in each one of your segment pieces. So these particular, you're going to put them down on your cutting board. You're going to follow your instructions closely, because some of them are cut at 1.5, some are cut at 1 3/4, and some are cut 2 inches wide. And you're going to be then cutting all of your strips and getting them ready to put in order of your color segments. So once you have that, you're going to start to follow the instructions and follow the pictures to see the order in which your segments are going to go together. Now, what you want to be careful of, and why you need to use wonder clips or pins in making this, is these are all going to match up. All of these seam lines that you're putting these segments together, you want to match up all of these across. So these lines that you see going across need to match up so that all of them are straight and in order when you finish your segment piece. So let's take a minute to just look at that segment piece. So behind me, you see this table runner, and this is the segment piece I'm talking about right here. And you have two of those in your table runner, one on either end of the border pieces. So you can see when the border pieces are cut, they have a green filigree, the one called green grass, in between them. And then the segment pieces go in between all of the border pieces on the table runner. Behind me here is the wall hanging, and it uses one of the panels as the center with a few strip pieces on the side for borders, and the filigree segments down here all put together. There's about 19 strips across on your wall hanging and about 13 strips across that make the center of your table runner. So you can see behind me that the table runner has kind of it looks like two blocks, and that the wall hanging has about 3 blocks of those put together. So there's about, excuse me, I turned the wrong way, about 3 different blocks of these filigree segments that you're putting together. So again, this wall hanging is about 25 by 38. The table runner is about 15 by 60. The pillow, which is right here, is just beautiful. And it was made and quilted. If you look, let me see if you can see that closely. It's got some quilting on it that I did before I put it together. And I used one of the panels, a piece of muslin to back it with a piece of batting in between. And I sat at my sewing machine and quilted that first before I put the pillow together. And the pillow then just has a zipper bottom that I put here at the bottom of the pillow so that you can open and shut your pillow and clean it by taking it apart. Let's talk about a few of the products that I used that help make this process a little easier in the making. So one of the things I like to use is I like to use some of these spool huggers, or bobbin clamps as we call them, to keep my threads from unraveling off my spools of thread. And these are made by Gypsy Quilter, and we sell them either in bags like this, or we also sell them in bulk at the counter. Also use either wonder clips or pins to hold all of those rows together that I showed you. So when you've got all those 1.5 inch rows and you have to match them up to make those nice long segments for either your wall hanging or your runner, you're going to need some wonder clips or some really good straight pins. And in the store, they come in packages of 10 or in packages of 50, a bigger package in a box. Also, before I ever start any project that I'm doing, I'm going to use an iron cleaner. And these iron cleaner sheets look kind of like dryer sheets. And I use this on my iron to clean my iron off and make sure there's nothing on the bottom of my iron before I start ironing on my new fabrics. And the one other thing that's going to be really nice, and especially on this project, were these Merrill Lee's numbered pins. And the reason I like these is because when you're following your pattern and you're cutting all of your width of fabric strips, they all have a different number, and they all either are for your wall hanging or your table runner. And it's really nice to number your pattern with the numbered pins. Write it in your pattern and then put it and attach it to all your strips, because you're in the midst of cutting. Then you're going to set them aside, and if you've numbered them with your pattern as you've gone and you've cut, it's easy to go back and know which ones are in your pile for your wall hanging and which ones are for your table runner. So these numbered pins, and of course for any project where you're cutting a lot of things that need to be labeled, these pins are really great for labeling. I also used in this project Schmidt's Microtex 8012 needles. So those were some of the things I used to create this project today. Thank you for joining us today, and we appreciate your business. And again, this is Charlene at the Sewing Palace in Helena, Montana. Thank you for joining us.